Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name's Ollie Pearce. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So before I get going, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. So today we are going to be answering a question I've been asked by a lot of my clients. Is the pickup industry a scam? Does pickup work? Is game a good thing? Does game work? Does approaching girls in the street work? All this stuff, basically the truth about game and the PUA or the pickup industry. So first things first, right? I have got good credentials in this area to be talking about this. I was one of the original dating coaches, PUAs, whatever you want to call it. I worked for a man called Richard Laruina, who was the king of the game industry here in my hometown of London, and he's one of my very good friends. And we worked together since I was in my early 20s. He was one of the absolute pioneers in the dating and game industry, made a lot of money, and has now fucked off and lives in a castle with a beautiful model in Russia, I believe. So big shout out to my boy Richard. But this is just how long I have been in the date coaching industry for. Let's flip up a picture of me and the team many, many years back. There's also Kezia Noble, Rob Baxter in there. These are some well-known date coaches internationally now. So we are the original team here in London. And what we did was help guys to approach women and, to enhance their romantic lives and their romantic spheres. My actual role at that company was to make men cooler, to concentrate on fashion, and to bring some reality to this kind of bizarre subculture, which was, let's be real, a bit nerdy and a bit geeky. I'm a model and a stylist, and I was there to try and translate some cool into it. So thus a lot of people ask me, what do you think about game? What do you think about pickup? Does it work? Is it a real thing? Well, I've got a love-hate relationship with this one. So let me try and break down my feelings on the game industry and the truth about the game industry. First things first, pickup, PUA, game is an industry. It's a business. PUAs are businessmen. They're making money. They sell you the dream, all right? Dreams can't be bought, right? You have to work hard for dreams. Dreams come with self-improvement, with effort, with, what is it Einstein said? 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. That's a genius. It's the same with anything in life. You have to work hard for something if you want it. So that takes me back to my initial point. PUAs are businessmen. They want to sell you a dream, something easily obtainable. Just click this button, give me $100 and you're going to be amazing with women. I recently saw an advert online for another dating coach. It popped up on my YouTube as an advert at the start of the video saying, I can guarantee you one word, which drives women crazy. The one word. Shut up, man. You're lying. How about scam? How about you're a fucking liar? How about that word, lie? That's the only thing this man is doing. He's making money by selling a dream to men who have no idea how to get women, who don't really know the process they need to go down. They're lost. And there's a lot of guys out there, I hope whoever I'm speaking to now isn't lost. So if you're thinking at these so-called gurus and PUAs, right, they want to sell something quickly and make money. It's a business. Thus, if you're reading a book which claims that it's got the secret to, to success with women, or a 10-minute YouTube video which claims techniques which are going to stop any woman in the street and she's going to, it's bollocks. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. And stopping 100 women in a day and telling each one of them you like their style, that's not charisma, that's not seduction, that's not charm, that's simply approaching women in the street and annoying them. Every now and then you might get lucky. So my view on pickup and game initially is that, yes, as a numbers game, if you approach 100 women, you may get a number, but this actually isn't seduction. This is not exemplifying your charisma. You're not making it work. So again, I've got to keep going back to this point that PUAs are businessmen, right? They sell products, they sell approaches. It's quick fix, quick fix, quick fix. They're not people who really work in the self-help industry, right? They don't claim that they're going to develop your life or develop your physique, your fashion sense, take better pictures. They don't actually do the stuff that you need to do if you want to get better. It's all about self-development is what I'm trying to say. So yes, PUAs sell you a dream. And by the way, it's a dream to them as well. Most of the guys who are out here making videos, doing approaches in the streets, talking about they've got 1,000 body lay count, it's all bullshit. It's just lies, it's a fallacy, it's a subculture where men who aren't particularly impressive or aren't particularly successful with women impress other men who are even less impressive and even less successful with women. There are no women in this subculture. No one really knows what how the feminine mind is working, and no one's really trying to self-improve. It's basically a boys' club. A lot of camaraderie, a lot of lads hanging out and exchanging bad, misdirected information on women. So be aware of that. These are not societal front runners. These are not men who are cool in any other spheres. And these are not men with true value beyond the PUA community. And the PUA community tends to be nerdy men who are suffering in their social lives. So you've got to ask yourself that as well. Who is it who's making these men champions? And what gives them authority to be champions? And what have they done in their lives, apart from approach women unsuccessfully in the street, which gives them actual value to transmit to you? What can you take from their life? What gives them the authority to tell you how to approach women and you how to be cool and sexy? So basically what I'm trying to say is there's no quick fixes. And if somebody dangles a golden carrot in front of you, that's what it is. It's not going to work. You're never going to get it. What they're doing is dangling the idea that successive women approach them in the street is easy, that it can be done with quick videos of them doing really well all over the world. They might have had 400 takes to get that. It might be fake. You don't know, right? All that glitters is not gold. And if anybody is telling you one word which guarantees success, the average man, it doesn't matter if he's good looking or fat or bald or old, can walk up to a hot 22-year-old and approach her in the street with this one verbal technique. He's simply lying to you and trying to sell you a product. Guaranteed all the men who are saying this on their online videos are selling some kind of product or some kind of book with a load of bullshit which doesn't back it up, which you'll buy for a few $100s, it won't work, and that'll be it, you'll be gone. So it's a conveyor belt of people who fall for this shit, buy the products which don't work, don't use it properly. So basically anybody who tells you otherwise is bullshitting you. They're trying to sell you products. If you're not being told that the key to getting more women is self-development on all aspects of your life and in all areas of your life, then they're quite simply trying to sell you a product for a short-term fix for themselves, a financial short-term fix for themselves, which is not going to help your progress romantically one bit. And it's probably going to teach you loads of the wrong stuff, give you some weird, bizarre, niche subculture view of women and attraction, and actually have a very negative effect on your whole progress. So I think finally it's important to address this completely wrong direction and approach that pickup artists and game coaches take when they're trying to help people to get better with women. What they tell you to do is get out in the street, approach as many women as you can with very, very basic lines, or just simply stopping them and telling them they're beautiful. There's no charisma here, there's no seduction here, there's no sort of, projection of your persona. You're basically not getting the woman. If this works, it would have worked if you'd gone up to her and said, anything. You could have gone up to her and spoken complete gibberish. It would have worked. She probably was physically attracted to you and was receptive at that moment in time to a man approaching her. Let's be real. So don't be fooled. Approaching women in the street and telling them they're beautiful is not game. That's not pickup, right? And it's the wrong process. You shouldn't have been going out there with no clue in the world as to what you're doing. That should have been the last step. So any real lifestyle coach and any date coach worth his weight in gold will tell you the complete opposite. The first thing you do is lose some weight. If you're fat, lose some weight. If you're too skinny, put on some weight. You're physical. Let's strip it right down. Let's get you butt naked this time and look at you, all right? If your body's not good, who wants to sleep with it? If you're fat, who wants to get you naked? If you've got a terrible haircut, you want to change that. If your stubble is awful, you want to get rid of that. If you're too skinny, you've got to work out. If you're too pale, you've got to get a tan. Physical attraction is always the key. So PUAs say, oh, physical attraction is not important. Bollocks. Of course it is. These women have to sleep with you. Do not believe that lie. You have to be as physical attractive as is possible. You've got to make the most of yourself. So one, work on your physique, work on your grooming, work on your hairstyling, get a tan. The shell. Two, how can we make the shell even better now we've worked on our own physicalities? Fashion. Look into getting better clothes. Of course, fashion is going to help. You are what you wear. Clothes make the man. This is absolutely true. If you dress like a cool guy, you get treated like a cool guy. Dress like a fashionable, cool, successful, entrepreneurial man about town, boom! It's going to work. That's the way you're going to be perceived by the women you approach, the women you speak to online, the women you speak to in clubs. It doesn't matter where. You are what you wear. Sort your fashion out. If you're thinking, all right, well, I think my fashion's okay, no, it's rubbish. Anybody who thinks they're okay and are getting away with it doesn't have a clue. Unless you know you look hot shit, you know you're slick, you know that your clothes are on point, they're not. It's very easy to change your style. We've got an abundance of videos on my website already, so you can have a look for our YouTube right there. Pick up magazines like GQ, copy celebrities, look on Instagram, make sure your styling is well done. Okay, that is the major thing which is going to get attraction for the average guy, is to have a slick, well-processed look which reflects the right elements about him as a single man in society. So step 3, we've looked at your physical appearance, your actual body. We've gone into the material, giving you some new good garments. So now we've worked on your physical appearance, let's say the shell, step 1. We've looked at your fashion styling, step 2. Now and only now that you're looking decent. I mean, nobody wants to speak to you. No hot woman in society who spent hours on her image and her look and you know, is very motivated by clothes, material things, her hair and the effort she puts in. Nobody is going to speak to some guy who looks terrible. So first thing, steps 1 and 2, you make sure the shell and the fashion are on point, and only now do we go on to step 3, which is theory. So what you should be doing next is sitting at home with somebody who's good. Okay, now is maybe when you want to hire a PUA, if they're good, because most PUAs are absolutely terrible. You want to hire a lifestyle coach, a date coach, or a PUA to help you with theory. This is speaking to women. So this is not cheesy, stupid pickup lines. This is not asking for directions to Starbucks, then trying to transition into a real conversation. It's not just telling every single girl she looks fashionable or you like her fashion sense when she's in her office gear. These are all pitfalls guys make. It's real, genuine insights into what makes women tick. It's learning good ways of approaching them. It's looking at their styles and knowing why they've chosen that and how to combine elements. It's picking out stuff about their persona which is more niche than just an obvious compliment or some lame canned line. So only after you've looked at your shell and your material should you even be going into your theory. And theory is you at home thinking about it, or with a good mentor. So once you've got that, you've got some approach techniques down, you've spoken to someone who knows his stuff, who's had good results, blah, blah, blah. Now and only now are you ready to go for the street, to get out there and actually start approaching girls. You're looking good, you've worked on your physique, you've worked on your hair, your skin tone, all that. You know what you're going to say, you know what you're looking for, you know the right garments to look for on girls, the type of genre they fit into, what they're likely to be into, because you've spoken to an expert. Any good date coach will teach you how to do this properly. They won't just give you shitty lines, which are a one-size-fits-all device to approach hundreds of women and get told to piss off by every single one probably. They'll give you real insights into how to speak to women and make it more charged towards the individual. Then when you've done all that theory, you hit the streets, and that's when you play the numbers game only. So that, gentlemen, was the reality of game, right? Game works if you do it correctly. If you follow the procedures I said, approaching, pickup, game, whatever it is, speaking to women in public, it works. If you go for the old school PUA, pickup artist kind of approach, it's not going to work. It's totally skewed. It's basically men who don't know anything about women telling other men who know even less about women what to do. And thus, they don't have any of the elements which make men cool in society. Knowing how to hold yourself, knowing how to dress, knowing how to verbalize your information. So there we have it, gentlemen. That is how I see the correct process. And it's a complete reversal from the PUA methodology. Self-development first, finally with a culmination of in-field stuff and approaching women. Until you're ready to do that, you're much more likely to create massive anxiety for yourself around this area, get rejected multiple times, and be, 2 points down from 0. Where you started at in the first place. So do you want to make it even more detrimental with the wrong approach, or do you want to do it correctly and start to get solid rapport with women in the street and numbers which will really work? If you do, take my advice, guys. And finally, I think that one thing which shows why I have such disdain for pickup artists, the proof's in the pudding. Why is it that PUAs will not go into the online sphere? The truth is, they can't. They don't know how to dress. It's a visual medium, so they need to have good fashion and good styling. They're not genuinely cool anyway in societies. They don't know really how to write a bio with good information. Most of them have done nothing with their lives. They have no intrinsic societal value because all they've ever done is claim that their profession is a PUA, which basically is walking around the street approaching women. So they're not showing any of the elements of a successful, cool, sexy man anyway in modern society. So again, be very, very careful at who you are trusting. How can somebody teach you to show value of women who has no intrinsic value? How can someone who's not cool teach you to be cool? All of these elements which pickup artists find it so hard to encounter are obviously extremely relevant in the much, much more specific visual medium of online dating. And that's why PUAs will always tell you not to go on Tinder, not to try online dating, because they can't make any money from you in that sphere. It's the sad truth. Be sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I think I just adequately buried the PUA industry there. Those are my honest and sincere thoughts, and I've been working in that industry for 15 years. So gentlemen, plenty more videos coming soon. Peace!